songs about sweet things.
I'm just still gonna make fun of the fact that you're 100,000 years old.
I'm not that old.
You're pretty old.
No, just because, like, you had to help me pull my shoulder back into place 20 minutes ago. That's... Young people have injuries, too.
Your cultural touchstone is the Beatles, dude.
That is that's not my cultural touchstone.
It's what you just cited to me as a cultural touchstone.
Yeah, but not mine. Mine would be a 30-year-old series of children's novels. Or The Simpsons.
You are not...
Which is also in its 30s.
You're not making yourself seem younger or more hip.
I'm
For the
cool.
record, not that I am either.
Kids still think I'm cool.
That's not true. We had a teenager in our apartment last year.
Oh god, and she thought we were so... Because we got high and watched Yellow's Marbles runs, and she was so confused. With some old lady shit.
Why's it gotta be old lady shit? Why can't it be old person shit? Sexist.
I was counting myself as an old lady. Transphobe. I'm not actually trans. I don't want to steal any valor here. Speaking of stolen valor, this is another episode of Soon to Be a Major Motion Podcast with your hosts Billy Beck
And Cody Beck.
And this is the podcast where we read books that were turned into movies and watch movies that are based on books. I remembered to do that part this week.
And you got it right. Look at us
fucking
go.
Nailing it.
We're like professional or
Crush
something.
it. That's the stolen valor I'm talking about. We are in no way professionals. We're barely competent at this shit.
We are semi-pro.
Where's the semi? I lose money on this every year.
The semi is that we have mics now. And like...
that was the start. That was the first money lost.
So how was your week?
No, you go first, because you had a more exciting week than me.
Oh, yes, I did. So, I had my first ever business trip for my job. I went to Florida. It was between the two hurricanes. It was before Milton formed and after... Fuck, what was the other one?
Was it Helena?
Yeah.
Oh, Helene.
Yes.
Sorry. I've only read it in books.
So I was in Fort Lauderdale for 5 days. I flew out Monday. First day of the conference was Tuesday. Last day of the conference was Thursday, and I flew back on Friday. So whole week on the company dime, which was neat. It was fun. It's very fun to be on the East Coast and be like, I work in cannabis, and watch everybody's eyes get the size of dinner plates.
Like the FBI agents and lawyers that were there.
Yes.
Like, keep an eye on her, which is funny because you don't partake.
I really don't. If you ask my mother, apparently I am a bigger pothead than Cheech or Chong. Possibly both of them combined. But yeah, I really don't. And even when I do, I don't smoke.
You do enjoy knocking out for 16 hours after taking an edible, though.
Oh god, it's so great. Remember the time I told you to turn the TV down because it tasted too loud?
Yeah, and it ruined my immersion in that elimination chamber match.
You were 2 inches from the screen.
I was sitting on the floor. We were very high. That was a great night.
So, I had fun. I got to spend a little bit of time on the beach. And flights to and from were actually great. I flew through Kansas City. Shout out to our friend Kyle.
Hey, Kyle.
Had some decent barbecue in the airport.
Didn't you have better barbecue at the... Or did you... No, you had Arby's.
I had Arby's, yes.
And you told me it was better than the barbecue that you had at the airport.
So, I landed... when this trip was originally scheduled, I was supposed to land at like 4 p.m., which meant I was going to get to the hotel, be able to basically immediately check in, and... have the rest of the day to decompress. Well, flights being what they are, I ended up landing at 9 p.m. So I didn't get to the hotel until almost 9:30.
Didn't you just say, like, your flights were fine both ways?
I meant, like, the actual flight experience.
Except for the, the 5-hour delay.
Well, it's because they pushed it back.
I know.
It wasn't a delay, it was they actually, like, pushed the flight itself back.
Oh, right, this was before everything.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And then, so it's 9:30. I check in. I finally get to my room, which, by the way, I know they were laughing because my room was 420.
I think that was a lucky coincidence. Honest to God. Because I don't think you can request a specific room when you book a hotel.
I also don't think so. I was also, like, the lowest floor. I think there was one other pair of women that was from Pennsylvania, weirdly enough, that was on my floor, and everyone else was on, like, 6 and above. So, I am starving because I haven't eaten since Kansas City, and it's been, you know, at this point, like, 4.5 hours, and I'm flip open DoorDash, and the first thing I see is Arby's, and I'm just like, fuck yes.
God bless alphabetical order.
Because we don't have an Arby's near us in any way anymore.
I got one like 2 blocks from the office.
I know, and you won't get it for me.
It'll be cold and not as good by the time you get it.
So, I get the Arby's, and I literally shove this entire roast beef in my mouth, along with the mozzarella sticks.
Just swallow it whole like a snake.
Basically, that's what it felt like. So then I did say that my flights were fine. I almost didn't get on my second flight because apparently at some point in the booking process, when they made the change to the first flight, it messed up my second flight. So even though we had paid for it, it said it didn't exist. So I had to call Southwest, like, after I'm supposed to be checking in, the final day of the conference, be like, hey, I have proof that this flight was paid for. I have a confirmation number. What the fuck? And then they were able to sort it out for me. And very, very nice woman. I don't remember her name, but she was like, yeah, that's weird. Let me look into that. She's like, we made an oopsie. Here you go. So that was fun. And then I came home, and Luna, has been Velcroed to me for basically every waking moment.
It's funny, because when you were gone, until the last night, she wanted nothing to do with me while I was awake. She would pop out when meals were fed. Nothing to do with me. Since you've come back, if I'm in the room and you're not in the room where she wants to be, she will cuddle with me until you get there because she's making you jealous. When you were in the shower last night, she was passed out on my lap.
Well, yeah, you brought me home.
You know, the one night that she did want to cuddle, the Thursday night before you got back, she would get pets for a couple minutes, and then she would stop and then turn and look at the door and wait for you to come in.
That's so sad.
It was so sad. I felt like shit because I was being used. And I didn't have the ability to communicate with her that she's wasting her time using me.
But you were getting cuddles. This is all that you want.
Yeah. But also, it's not the same.
So now that we're on a depressing note, you want to talk about your week?
Fucking Philly's fucking bullpen, man. Just fucking ass. 4 games where the starters fucking do miracles. Even game 4, he had the bases loaded twice in the first and second inning. No runs scored. But as soon as the fucking starter's out, grand slams, home runs, Mets putting up 5, 6, 7 runs, and our fucking bats only woke up in game 2. And they had to come from behind fucking twice to win that one. So if you aren't familiar with Major League Baseball, in the second round of the playoffs, the National League Divisional Series, the Philadelphia Phillies, my favorite team, lost in 4 games of a 5-game series to the New York Mets, one of our division rivals. Fuck the Mets, fuck Grimace, fuck that fucking song that guy wrote.
Who's Grimace?
The McDonald's mascot?
What does he have to do with this?
The Mets were fucking ass for so long. And they had a particularly bad game. And then the next day, fucking Grimace throws the first pitch because McDonald's wants to sell an extra cheeseburger in Times Square. And the Mets go on a 13-3 run after that and make the playoffs. So every fucking game is some kid dressed as a corporate mascot because they know their actual mascot is fucking gross.
Is it the weird ball
It's
guy?
Mr. Met. It's the dude with the baseball for a head. What a fucking waste of a mascot.
Oh my god, is Poke Guy from fucking Galar?
Onomichi? Wait, oh my god, probably. The Pokeball guy?
Yes!
They're talking about Onomichio from Yakuza 6.
No.
So yeah, all these Mets fans are just happily filleting Grimace on the street. Enjoy it. Enjoy sucking off that corporate dick, New York Mets fans.
You have to be nice to Grimace, though.
Why? Fuck Grimace.
Because everyone was very mean to him about the Grimace shake, and he wished he didn't have a birthday.
Well, that anthropomorphic taste bud deserved it.
Wow, you're a monster.
So is advertising to children.
You're not wrong.
I'm on the edge of a rant that now's not the time.
We'll do Mr. Rogers' autobiography.
Oh no. Oh, what's that movie? Won't You Be My Neighbor? Good movie. Not really a biopic of Rogers. It's more that guy's story and his interactions with Rogers at that time. Beautiful little movie.
We can add that to our list of not really adaptations.
Oh, don't. We'll talk about next season. The other thing that happened was, speaking of the Phillies, Pete Rose passed away. Mostly known for his time playing for the Cincinnati Reds. But he did do some time with the Phillies.
I feel like fucking everyone did some time with the Phillies.
And they called it doing time most years, because the Phillies have been ass for a long time. But commentator, WWE Hall of Famer. And I specified WWE because, and this is, God gave us a perfect segue this week. Because Pete Rose...
Pete, you gotta die for a podcast.
Shit. Don't say that out loud. Although he was in his, 80s. He was getting up there. He had a good post-playing career as well. I believe he was a manager when he was betting on games.
I believe that is correct.
I intended to look it up, and I can't recall. But from what I recall, correct me if I'm wrong, sound off in the comments. Ugh. As a manager, he betted on his team to win, and in baseball, any player, manager, member of team staff who is betting on games or throwing games or knows about people betting on games or throwing games and doesn't tell management, Buck Weaver, anybody who does that is banned for life from professional baseball. And that unfortunately included Pete Rose, who was an incredible player in his time. And the reason why baseball is so strict about betting on it was an event that happened during the 1919 World Series that was chronicled in a book by
Elliot Asinoff.
And that book was called... Because I know it's not just 8 Men Out. It's probably in the title. I think it's 8 Men Out, the story of the 1919 Chicago Black Sox?
The Black Sox and the 1919 World Series.
I knew it had a subtitle that I could not recall.
Sorry, I was looking up Pete Rose. He did actually bet while he was a player.
He did bet while he was a player.
It was alleged 85, 86, 87.
Thank you for confirming.
85 would have been his last year as a player.
Okay. So, both. Mm-hmm. I wasn't sure when the betting started, but I do believe he bet on himself.
He did. He also won a pennant with whatever the championship was with the Phillies in 80. He was on that team.
You know, I only ever think of McGraw on the 80 Phillies, because I wasn't alive. I did not realize Pete Rose won a ring with the Phillies.
Yep.
That, I'm tearing up a little bit. But anyway, the 1919 Chicago White Sox is what we're talking about, and the book, 8 Men Out, the Black Sox Scandal, and the 1919 World Series.
It's just called The White Sox and the 1919 World Series.
Oh, the White Sox and the 1919 World Series.
It doesn't have a sensational title.
Okay, because it's an older book. It's like the 60s, right?
I believe
63?
so, yes. 63.
63, ooh.
That explains a lot, actually.
Yes. And in 1988, and now I need to double check. Pretty sure I'm right about that.
We are very prepared for this episode.
Bro, I like half-assed my notes. I was doing my notes before and after my meeting. had a fucking 90-minute meeting today. It was stupid and poopy, and it was 1988. I was right. Why did I doubt myself? Because...
That's your existence?
Anxiety. But yeah, 1988 movie. 8 Men Out. Fictionalized. Not fictionalized. Dramatized?
I think dramatized.
Is dramatized the right word?
Yeah.
So the 1988 movie, 8 Men Out, dramatized the nonfiction book written by... Elliot Asimov?
Asimov?
I'm never going to remember it. But anyway, the movie dramatized the nonfiction account. And we are going to watch a trailer.
Sure.
Yeah, because I think... Normally we do, like, how did you find out about this? How did you hear about this? I know your answer is me.
Yeah, I mean, we covered this on the Field of Dreams episode, kind of.
Like, it's just baseball history.
Like, I genuinely thought that the Black Sox were a team for a long time, because that's all I ever heard. I didn't realize that the Black Sox were the White Sox.
Yep.
Because there's also the Red Sox, so it's just colors. I just thought there were colors.
And, I mean, there's the Red Sox in Boston, and the Cincinnati Red Stockings.
Yes.
Is what they were at the time.
Yes, they actually changed the name because of newspapers. It was easier for newspapers to print socks.
Yep, because it was the White Stockings as well.
Mm-hmm.
But, anyway, they turned the book into the movie. The thing that this podcast is.
Hey!
Let's watch a trailer.
Edward Seacott, Joseph Jefferson Jackson, Arnold Gandil, Charles Risberg, Oscar Felch, Claude Williams, and George Weaver are hereby accused of conspiracy to commit a confidence game.
We're gonna see the Sox.
Baseball, 1919. There were no free agents, no million-dollar salaries, but there was a team no one could beat. The true story of the team they called the Black Sox, and the scandal that broke the heart of a nation.
Any bet against my Sox this series is a sucker bet.
You can find 7 men on the best club willing to throw the World Series?
The shoeless Joe ain't in. I ain't.
You want me?
You don't want to be stupid, do you, Joe?
Now you just sign your name right there, Joe.
I made an agreement with those guys.
A couple of Boy Scouts here, they made a deal. The players are in now. What are they gonna do, call a cop?
What you got it off for, Eddie?
Eddie can dump 3 games all on his own.
We don't get Eddie, we forget about it.
How many games does Mr. Seacott win for us this year?
29, sir.
You said if I won 30 games, there'd be a $10,000 bonus.
29 is not 30, Eddie.
You know, I make the play. I don't feel right.
You can't welch on these guys.
Get out! I know where you're going!
They were an American dream come true, the best that ever were. 9 men took the field, but when the game was over, there were 8 men out.
What do you think of these players of yours now, Mr. Gleason?
I think they're the greatest ball club I ever seen, period.
Don't you forget it.
8 Men Out, written for the screen and directed by John Sayles.
The year is 1919, and the I'm not doing the whole thing in that voice. You heard enough of that last time. It's 1919, and the Chicago White Sox are the best team in baseball. True story, I know that's hard to believe. They were the worst team in baseball history this year.
Like even worse than the Cubs?
Worst record in baseball history this year.
Damn.
Yeah. But in 1919, only 105 years ago, the best. After winning the American League pennant, they learned that their bonus is flat champagne. Star pitcher Eddie Seacott approaches owner Charles Comiskey about his $10,000 bonus for winning 30 games, but he only won 29 because Comiskey had him benched for 2 weeks. Comiskey said no. After being approached by multiple prominent gamblers from multiple cities, 6 to 8 members of the team agree to throw the World Series for $10,000 each. Only a few players actually get paid up front, but they throw the series regardless. In the aftermath, sports journalists start writing about the fix, leading to a conspiracy trial in which the players are found not guilty. To protect their own asses, the owners appoint a new commissioner who bans the players from baseball for life. Shoeless Joe Jackson, one of the banned players, changes his name to play ball in New Jersey, and much later a field in Iowa. The end.
So there are some major differences to the actual historical account.
That's why I hesitated between saying fictionalized and dramatized.
I mean, the broad strokes are correct. He kind of just flattened the nuance a bit.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be 20,000 each. So originally it was supposed to be 10, and then it became 20 because they got two gamblers involved.
Yep.
And it was actually Chick Gandil approaching gamblers to try to find someone who would pay them to throw the series.
We don't really see the approach itself in the movie either. It's after they win the pennant and everyone like on the team is at a bar celebrating.
Yes.
And Chick Gandil is already sitting with Sleepy Bill Burns.
Maharg. Billy Maharg, I think.
Billy Maharg, yeah.
Why is everyone named fucking Bill?
That confused me so much watching the movie when they keep referring to each other as Bill or Billy, and I'm like, which one of you is the Bill? You can't have two characters with the same name in a movie. You can, if it's based on reality.
So, basically, the head of the owner of the team was notoriously tight-fisted. His players, even though they were the best team in baseball, made significantly less money than anyone else in the league. And he also kept them on a tighter per diem. He also skimped on things like laundry bills. He did not upkeep the ballpark.
Yep.
He sounds a lot like the owners of Manchester United.
Huh. It's funny, you mentioned the laundry, because the term Black Sox predates the scandal. Because their uniforms were so dirty by the end of the season.
Yep.
People called them the Black Sox.
Yep. I think it was like he only paid for their uniforms to be washed every 2 weeks instead of once a week.
Something like that. I think I read that at one point he just told the players to wash them themselves. It was that fucking cheap.
So, the book is set up in such a way that it's kind of... The first half of the book is the setup and the actual series, and then the second half of the book is the trial and the aftermath. And the series and the aftermath are written in the same way. They're both written as kind of like play-by-play sports games.
I like that.
So the author literally goes game by game through every move that they make, what the players were thinking, what's happening as they're being fucked over by these different gamblers. And then when it comes to the trial, the same thing. It's move and counter move, and he almost treats each day of the trial as its own inning. Because you also have like everything that leads up to it, because there's a lot that leads up to the trial. Basically, it was after the end of the 1920 season is when the trial finally takes place.
Yeah. That's not clear in the movie. They make it seem like it's immediate, but all these guys played a whole nother year.
Basically,
except for
Gandil.
Yeah, he played in the minors, I think. Because he
didn't
play at all because he sat out.
He fucked off to California and coached a team.
Oh, okay.
Or managed a team. I don't remember the specific. He was in a management position for like a minor league team.
Yeah.
But yeah, he basically knew he was like, I'm done. I'm never going to play again. So fuck it. I'm going to fuck off to California.
I read that he sat out his contract because he wanted more.
They all did, actually.
Well, yeah.
They all basically were like, no, we were your winning team, or you're almost winning. Like, we won the pennant, and now you delayed giving us our World Series winnings checks, which were because they were investigating the scandal. Really, he was just using it as a bargaining chip. They also only got, like, $3,000 for losing.
Yeah.
Because it was a percentage of the overall take, which the overall take for the series was like almost $1 million.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's...
Although I don't remember if that was 20 or 1919.
So $1 million. I have the inflation for Seacot's bonus of $10,000, which today would have been $180,000. So if it's $1 million, that's $10.8 million that baseball made in today's money.
So Seacot actually
and that's just on ticket sales, because keep in mind it's 1919.
Yeah.
There's no big TV contracts because there's no fucking TVs.
Yeah.
It's just ticket sales.
So they actually, after the 1920 season is when they decided, or between 1920 and between 1919 and 1920 was when they decided they had to up the price to 50 cents for bench seats from what it had. They said 2 bits, so I assume it was 25 cents.
Yeah. Luna has thoughts on Comiskey and his capitalist behavior.
Fuck Comiskey.
Fuck Comiskey. All of Chicago just smiled, and they're not sure why.
This whole book, the author is very careful to point out the manipulation of the media by Comiskey. And it also points out, how all of the owners were kind of equivocators in their own deal and caused this to happen, and ultimately none of them got in trouble for it. Even to the extent that, they did finally they did finally get a commissioner.
Yeah. Fucking that guy.
He sucks.
Yeah.
Judge Landis is a fucking asshole. I don't like anyone. I also don't like Chick Gandil, because he's a fucking asshole, too.
Yeah, he's a dick.
He is the one who started all of this.
Yup. You dragged them all in. Granted, I don't disagree with any of their motivation.
Correct. I completely agree. They were getting paid... None of them were getting paid more than $5,000. Babe Ruth was getting paid $20,000.
Yeah.
At the exact same time. And they were all, not saying that they're better than Babe Ruth, but they were all up to that caliber.
I didn't recall seeing Babe Ruth at that World Series. And that's the thing that makes this so fascinating for me as somebody who has followed baseball off and on my whole life. It's been part of my life since before I can remember. It is such a team sport in that you could be the best hitter in the world. You only got 3 shots up there. Guaranteed. You can get more if you get more people on base and you go around the order more times. You only get 3 chances.
He was also apparently a good, whatever his field position was. Was he a fucking pitcher?
Babe Ruth?
Yeah.
Yeah. The way Shohei Ohtani plays now,
yeah,
almost any time he breaks a record, it's he's the first player to do this since Babe Ruth. That's the one. Now he's just doing shit no one's ever done before. But yeah, that was back when pitchers could hit. And now, a few years ago, the National League finally stopped making pitchers hit at all. Because the American League took it away first. Years after 1919.
Yeah. So that's actually something that the author does a good job of pointing out, is that it was a unique set of cultural circumstances that led, and a unique influx of people that led to the 1919 scandal, but also as a direct result of the 1919 scandal, or you could say, I guess, an indirect result, you get Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
Because while he was playing... Prior to that, the way that they would handle any sort of player who was an incredibly good hitter is they would handicap him. That's why, up to that point, getting players that batted 300 or over 300 was, nigh impossible. Shoeless Joe Jackson was an insanely good hitter.
Buck Weaver's only piece of evidence for that he didn't try to throw the series was that he batted 307.
Yeah. So...
Fuck. I feel so bad for Buck Weaver.
Buck Weaver and Joe Jackson. Because they were absolutely both taken advantage of.
They were playing their fucking hearts out. At least the way it's dramatized, they were playing their fucking games.
I also feel for Seacott a little bit, more than some of the other players. Because he was, the one that got the ball rolling. Pun not intended.
Well, it wasn't rolling till after he beamed the guy the first inning.
So basically, the way that baseball would have handled it is because they viewed super good hitters as making a mockery of the sport. Mm-hmm. So they would have handicapped him to prevent that from happening. However, he was putting butts in seats, and they were trying to shake off the stink of this scandal. So they were kind of like, nah, let him cook. We're going to let this happen.
And the way they did that, 1919-1920 is about the end, for those who don't know, which is, I assume, most of our audience.
Including me.
Real inside baseball. Those couple years is the end of what's considered the dead ball era. And this was an era in which the baseball wasn't as tightly packed, and they used the same ball pretty much the whole game unless it got lost or broken. So over the course of the game, it would move less off the bat. Plus, in this era, ball manipulation was fully legal.
Yep.
Codie was known as a knuckleball pitcher, which had to do with the grip of the ball, put basically no spin on it, so it was almost unpredictable where it would go. But he would also throw things like a shine ball, and other guys would do spitballs and all this stuff, basically scuffing the surface of the ball, adding material to the ball, making it move in unpredictable ways for the batter. It was really advantageous to pitching. So what that led to was low-scoring games and a ball that seemed dead. It wasn't lively off the bat, so it was the dead ball era.
And pitchers basically controlled the game.
Pitchers controlled the game in a way that you don't see at all anymore. Part of my rant against the Phillies this morning, it feels... anyway, at the start of this episode, was that the starting pitching all played really well. Wheeler had a hell of a game one. I told you about the fucking holes that I think it was Suarez got out of in game 4. Nola gave up, I think, 2 runs, but they were off solo home runs. It wasn't like anything manufactured off of him. It was just unlucky breaks. But all of them were pulled by the 6th inning. Pitchers don't pitch 9 innings anymore. They just don't. Back then, almost every game, someone would go 9 innings.
Yeah, unless you got actively hurt or you were really fucking up.
Just completely gassed,
like you saw a couple times with...
Like game 8, when lefty pitches the second time and he gets pulled in the first inning.
Yes.
Yeah, like that's why it was so important for the Gamblers to get Codie, because he could control the game in that era.
Yeah, they had Codie and Williams.
And because pitching was such a weakness to the integrity of baseball, the next season or 2 seasons later, they implemented a tighter wound ball that had more velocity going off of it. They started outlawing a lot of those pitches, so spitball was outlawed, shine ball, dirt ball, scuff ball. I think all of those are actually real. I'm not making those up. I don't think dirt ball might not be real. Those all get outlawed. There were a few pitchers that were grandfathered in and allowed to keep playing because they were like their specialty and they needed the draw. The other thing that completely changed it was a batter died when he got beamed in the head by a ball that moved unpredictably. So what started happening is they went from using 1 or 2 balls a game to 120 balls a game now. Because anytime the ball is hit, it does not get pitched again. If the ball gets pitched into the dirt, it does not get pitched again. The only time a ball gets pitched multiple times is if it's, into the catcher's glove and right back to the pitcher. That's it. And that's for player safety. It's also why they start wearing helmets, too.
Yeah.
But that completely changed baseball as Babe Ruth is rising and he starts hitting home runs, which I think in this World Series, in the 19 series, there's 1 or 2 home runs in the whole 8 games?
I want to say there's like a total of 5, but a lot of them are manufactured. Like there's at least 2 that Joe hits.
2 home runs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's basically when they decide they're not going to go with the fix anymore, and he just lets loose, he starts cranking homers.
Okay. I don't think they even show that many in the movie.
Yeah.
But to put that into perspective, I want to say Game 2 of the Phillies-Mets series had at least 5 home runs in and of itself.
It was a big deal in 1920 when Babe Ruth hit 51.
Yeah.
Because they were like, that was unheard of to even get to 50.
And that is still like a remarkable season today is 50, but it's not like watching Sosa and McGuire jacked up on steroids ripping fucking 80.
God, it was great.
Or Barry Bonds with his swollen steroid head just launching over to the fucking river. Like,
the steroid era of baseball was an interesting time to grow up.
And they didn't do anything about it at the time because people were fucking watching again.
Also, fucking everybody was on steroids. It's like the goddamn Tour de France that,
all the ones that Armstrong won? That
yes.
now nobody's won? Because no one competed legally in any of them?
They went like 10 down and they're like, are you fucking kidding?
Fuck it. We're not doing this. It's exactly like that. What the fuck was I talking about? Oh, dead ball to live ball. Yeah. Sorry. I just wanted to add some more detail.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it because I don't care about baseball and you care about it.
I was so upset when the Phillies lost yesterday, and then I watched this movie immediately after, and then watched some baseball YouTube. Because you know what? I'm not gonna let yourself. I'm not gonna let a shitty series loss ruin my love of a sport that has been in my life forever. You know?
I almost said something very mean.
Say it.
I was going to say, well, you didn't let November 5th ruin baseball or soccer for you.
That was very mean. You're a fucking asshole. We can't ever do V for Vendetta. I don't want to remember the 5th of November.
It's England, it's fine. Different 5th. So, the gamblers. Yeah. How many gamblers are present in the movie?
Fuck, I lost count. So, there's the Billies.
Billy Maharg and Billy Burns.
They go to Rothstein, a friend of the pod, from the Great Gatsby episode.
The book ends with the quote or the scene from Great Gatsby?
Of course it does.
Which is extra funny, because he literally didn't fucking fix the series. He wanted nothing to do with it.
He made some fucking money off of it. They just couldn't tie it to him.
Yeah.
But you know he made fucking money off of it.
Mm-hmm.
He had his boy, who was also betting on it.
Abe Attell?
Sure. I don't remember any of the fucking names. And then there was, like, the fucking German-ass dude. I don't think he was German. I think he was Irish. But, like, the blonde dude in the white suit from the trailer. I don't remember what his fucking name is. The guy from Boston.
I don't know if he was important.
I don't remember his name.
Is he one of the ones that gets fingered, like, as a desperate attempt to prove gamblers are getting indicted, too? Because all the big players fucking escaped extradition?
I want to say he was at the trial, but I think he was a witness. You say at least 5, but for sure. Oh, because there's like the other random ones, like the one who sues them because he bet on the White Sox. Because the trial is like conspiracy to commit fraud to Joe Willis or whatever his name is.
Yes.
And they're like, who the fuck is that? He's like, he bet on the White Sox. Dumbass.
So there's Rothstein. Rothstein is like the big gambler. He is like the guy. They call him the fucking like kingpin of crime when he decides to avoid trial by saying he's going straight and is just gonna operate his horse track.
Oh yeah, that's going straight.
So at the time, they estimated that he was worth $2 million. That's just what they knew about. He was worth easily $4 to $5 million in 1920 dollars. And he got into fucking bootlegging during Prohibition, so you know he made more money.
So he was worth, what's my fucking math? How much did you say? A couple mil?
He was worth at least $4 million.
So if $1 million then
is 10.8 million?
Is, hold on. Sorry, if $1 million then is 18 million. No. Oh my god, I can't fucking math. Yeah, no. If $1 million then is 18 million. He's worth almost $1 billion.
Well, at least 100 million. If he's worth 4. 18.
Oh shit! I added a 0. I'm doing math in my head. Come on, it's not like I went to school for this. It's not like I got a degree in it after I went to school for it.
So he's worth a shitload of money, and he shells out a lot of money. He pays for all of the legal defense.
It is him that pays.
It is very heavily implied he's the one bankrolling it, because they're like his personal fucking attorneys.
Because the movie makes it seem like they're not sure if it's him or Comiskey, or both.
It's probably both, but they were kind of on the same side, because Comiskey recognized that Johnson was trying to fuck him over.
Mm-hmm.
Because Johnson had known about all of this, and they just kind of swept it under the rug until he realized he could fuck over Comiskey.
Yeah.
Because the owners all on both the National and the, what's the other league?
American League.
American League. On both of the leagues, they did all of the saying the words to make it seem like they were actually investigating, but actively stifling any investigation or burying information that was given to them.
Yep.
Like the example of Joe Jackson going to him immediately after the series loss and being like, I need to talk to you, and Comiskey refusing to see him. And they all did the owner thing where when it started to get spilled out into the press, they tried to reel it back in, and then when they realized they couldn't anymore, and they were starting to fight over the idea of dissolving the current governing body and creating a new one, and Johnson realized, oh, I can fuck them over with this, specifically Comiskey, because I hate that guy.
Everyone did.
Apparently he was well loved by other owners.
Oh, by other owners. Yeah, because the billionaire class loves each other.
Yeah, he also...
That's why they elected one, to give them all tax breaks.
They also talked about how Comiskey, for the press, had basically, he would bring them to the stadium in Rolls Royce, like his personal Rolls Royce. He had a full buffet and like bar for them while he wasn't even paying to fucking have his players' team uniforms cleaned. And even like the owner of the, what do you call them? New York, not Mets.
Yankees?
Were the Yankees around at that time? Were they called the Yankees and existing at that time?
Where do you think Babe Ruth played?
I don't fucking know. I don't care. I know he played for a team that was blue and white.
Oh,
was
God.
that the Yankees?
That was the Yankees.
Okay. Well, you've got the A's and the Phillies, and they were both in Philly at the time, and
Do you remember when the Red Sox finally won a World Series and everyone shit their pants because they were a cursed team? Do you remember that in like 2005?
No. I wasn't dating you. I gave no shits about baseball. Babe, my team of reference growing up was the Orioles.
Okay, so you know about sports curses because of me.
Yes.
So my sports curse is the curse of William Penn. Essentially, Philadelphia did not win a championship in any sport after a building was built taller than William Penn's hat at City Hall in Philadelphia. Until 2008, when they built a small statue of William Penn at the top of the newest, tallest building in Philadelphia, and then the Phillies won the series. And then again in 2017 when the Eagles went to the Super Bowl and won that. There are more famous curses. One of them is the curse of the Bambino, which doomed the Red Sox to never again win a World Series when they traded Babe Ruth to the Yankees.
Oh.
Bitter rivals, the Red Sox and the Yankees. And they traded Babe Ruth to the Yankees. So yes, anyway. Sorry, I had a breakdown a little bit there.
What's the other what was the curse on the Cubs?
That one I know less about. I want to say it's like the Billy Goat curse.
I just know that it was like they're never gonna win. It was like 100 years or some shit.
Oh no, that's the one on the Cubs. Is that the one you're thinking of? Mm-hmm. Yeah, the curse of the Billy Goat was placed on the Cubs in 1945 by the owner of the Billy Goat Tavern. And it lasted 71 years.
That's strong magic.
And it's because he was asked to leave the stadium because his pet goat was bothering people.
How did he bring a goat into the stadium?
Cody, my Phillies had a guy bring an alligator into the stadium this season.
It was his emotional support alligator.
It was his emotional support goat.
I'm trying to make a joke, but I can't think of...
No, you can't.
Didn't the alligator escape, or did someone steal it?
I think somebody stole it.
Rude.
Right?
How do you steal a gator?
Carefully. Thick gloves.
Crocodile skin gloves.
Hey.
So So off of that fucking curse. So
I just couldn't believe he didn't know that Babe Ruth played for the Yankees. He's arguably the most famous Yankee ever.
I just know that the Yankees are assholes.
Yeah, fuck the Yankees. That doesn't mean Babe Ruth didn't play there.
Honestly, I low-key assumed he played for the Dodgers at some point just because of the blue and white.
Well, they were still in Brooklyn at the time.
So, where were we? We were complaining about Comiskey.
He was bringing journalists in Rolls Royces.
Yeah, he wined and dined all the people that he could benefit from and all the people who his image depended on, and he treated all the people that he benefited from like shit.
Yeah, like a billionaire.
I want to say they bumped one of the guy's salaries, the contracts that got rejected. He ultimately ended up bumping one of the guys, and I don't remember who it was. It might have been Joe, from $2,600 to $5,000. And that was like an unacceptable thing for him.
For the season?
Yes.
Fucking gross. Like, I know the trailer that we listened to said, like, before they were all millionaires. It's like, yeah, you're playing for fucking peanuts, man.
The thing is, $5,000, even though it was a huge bump, most of the other players at the time were making minimum $7,000.
Shoeless Joe Jackson should not have been making the equivalent of what I make now.
Yes. Really fucking depressing.
Yeah.
And I fully understand. And, like, Comiskey is on record as saying that he doesn't understand why players would do this to him. It's like, bro, you fucking know why.
Bro, you voted for the face-eating leopards party.
Like, you know good and damn well why these players would want extra money.
Yeah, because you treat them like fucking shit.
And it's like, ultimately, in the trial, you've got the prosecution being like, they threw away the series and they sold out America for $20,000. It's like, yeah, that was 4 times what they were making.
Yeah, like 4 years' salary to throw 5 games of baseball.
Yeah.
Fucking, I would.
So, I was under the impression that World Series were 7 games.
They are.
Apparently, this year, the owner of the Reds had actually championed to have the series be 9 games.
So that he could get 1 or 2 more, one more games
at Cincinnati to get more ticket take, because owners only got the full take after the first 2 games? 3 games? Wherever, because isn't it like 2-2? You play like 2 at home and then 2 away?
I think in this series they did 3... Because they played the first 3 games in Cincinnati. I was trying to track it during the movie and I lost it at some point.
I'm pretty sure they played the first 2 in Cincinnati and then 2 in Chicago. So I think it's after the first 4 games, that's where the players get a part of the ticket take, and then everything after that is fully the owners.
Yeah.
Because that would make sense. It's even split between the 2 cities.
I know today they do 2-2-1-1-1.
That makes sense.
They used to do 2-3-2 in a 7-game series.
Yeah, I want to say, because it was...
So I was assuming they did like a 3-5... What? No, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
like a 3-3-2-1 or something like that.
No, I think I'm pretty sure they did 2-2.
Just 2... I don't know.
Yeah, 2-2.
We don't need to get that in the weeds about it. I was just trying to track it. I'm pretty sure they took the train back to Chicago after Game 3.
Because the Cincinnati fans were shocked that they won.
Yeah.
The first 2 games.
Because the Sox were so good that year.
Yeah.
Fucking Shoeless Joe Jackson was amazing.
What do you think?
There were 2 movies about him in like a 2-year span.
Did the movie talk at all about the allegations of the Cubs versus Phillies series?
No, they were not mentioned.
So this wasn't a World Series, it was just a series of games.
Yeah.
So on specifically August 31st of 1920, in the National League, the Chicago Cubs were hosting the Phillies, who were last place,
Hell yeah!
In a routine end-of-season game, the president, Veek, who was actually looking at some of the White Sox players...
President of the Phillies or the Cubs?
Of the Cubs.
Okay.
Received a telegram that said, Detroit, commissions of thousands of dollars being bet on Phillies to win today. Rumors that your game is fixed. Investigate. And, in fact, the Phillies did end up winning that game 3-0. And it was never actually proven whether or not that game was fixed, but that was the trigger that started the actual investigation into the... Because they didn't look at the 1919...
Oh, you said this was the 2020 season when this happened?
Yes.
Okay.
Because the owners were kind of just waiting for all of this hubbub about the World Series to blow over.
Yeah, because if fans start to think it's fixed, they will stop coming to games. And then the owners won't make as much money.
So the investigation started on that Cubs-Phillies game where the Phillies won. And then ultimately, because it was the same kind of tired bureaucracy and insipid excuses they'd been getting the whole time, the public got angrier and angrier to the point that finally they got like a breakthrough, because one of the gamblers that they ultimately pulled for the Cubs and Phillies was like, yo, there were some people that were fucking fixing the series. And then the 1919 World Series got brought back up and pulled into it. So it was never actually a serious inquiry into the 1919 series, even at the time.
Let's go, Phils. Let's go, Phils. I love how you pulled that just for me.
Yep, I sure did.
I appreciate that. Because I did not know that piece of the history, and I love that about us. That, even though they couldn't prove the Cubs-Phillies game was fixed, the Phillies were so bad, the fact that they won and people bet on it was suspicious enough.
Did they talk about any of the stolen papers?
During the trial, when they're like, oh, they signed confessions, and then they can't find the confessions, and the confessions were stolen?
So, did they talk about when the confessions popped back up?
No!
Later, there was someone that was suing Comiskey, and Comiskey was on the stand, and the prosecution was grilling him, and he said something to the effect of, well, you're talking about these confessions, where are these confessions? And his lawyer's like, oh, I have them. And the prosecution said, how the fuck did you get those? And the lawyer panicked and looked at Comiskey, and Comiskey was like, I don't know.
Comiskey stole them?
Arnold,
or had them stolen?
Arnold Rothstein had them stolen. Well, okay, so ultimately they ended up in Arnold Rothstein's papers. They were stolen by the leaving attorney general, who was a friend of Comiskey's.
God.
Under the guise that he was making copies for his own records, which was his right. And they just never got put back in.
That's amazing.
So yeah, they popped back up in like 22, 23.
Wow. Fantastic. I love that.
I don't remember the original quote I was looking for, but yeah.
Yeah, we actually don't get much post the trial in the movie. Like, the trial ends, and all the players are out celebrating because they beat the system. And then it cuts to the owners with the new commissioner, and he announces that they're all fucking banned forever.
Yep.
And then fast forward to 2025, and Shoeless Joe Jackson is maybe playing in Hoboken. Who knows?
1925.
What did I say? 2025?
Yes.
Next year, Shoeless Joe Jackson in Hoboken.
Yes, he was going by the name Joseph.
Oh, he's going by Brown in the movie.
Oh, that's a nod to the gamblers. Because what the guy that was actually dispatched by Rothstein went by Brown.
Wow.
Because they all went under assumed names, including possibly Billy Maharg, whose name may have been Graham, and he may have been a pitcher. They were all going by assumed names because they figured it would muddy up the trail and make it harder to track back to them.
Fair. Fair enough. Is that ending in the book with Joe playing in New Jersey?
Yes.
I wasn't sure about that part because that seemed like tailor-made for the movie.
So he did actually play under an assumed name, and basically...
Is that confirmed? Confirmed?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, because the commissioner found out about it and said he cannot play semi-pro. You
Wow.
cannot have, like, you are not allowed.
It's like that guy who was playing MLS a season or two ago and wasn't getting any game time, so he started playing in an indoor league under an assumed name and then punched a guy out.
Yeah, basically, Joe was such a good player that it came out that he was Shoeless Joe Jackson, and they took it to baseball commissioner, and the other teams that he played were like, hey, he's not allowed to play, this game needs to be thrown out, and so they were basically like, yeah, unfortunately, he's not allowed to play, any games he played in are now forfeit. So a guy actually came up with the idea of creating a team around these banned guys and playing them, because he's like, hey, there are for every team that won't play them, there's another team that would love the exposure to play against them.
And he cut down a cornfield in Iowa. And
so that was kind of also what happened with Felsch. Weaver never actually played again because he kept waiting for his name to be cleared.
He tried every year until he died.
Yep.
I feel so hard for Buck Weaver.
Because he never got any money.
He never got any money. He never fully agreed to it. He never tried to throw a game. He played fucking off his ass.
Yeah.
And because they pointed the finger and he was in some of the meetings, he was banned. Like, they added that one part of the bannable offenses is knowing about a fix and not telling management.
Yep.
Is a bannable offense. And that's what got Bucky Weaver.
Yep.
Poor kid. I feel for him.
Yeah.
Want to talk about the people behind the movie a little bit?
Yeah.
Directed by John Sayles. He also directed Passion Fish, Lone Star, a bunch of movies I'd never heard of. Written by John Sayles. I have heard of some of the movies he's written. Piranha.
Oh my god.
Future episode of the pod. The Clan of the Cave Bear.
Oh god, no! No!
Buck Weaver was played by John Cusack. You know, Stand By Me, being John Malkovich.
They really just were like, who looks like a baby face?
I love him in the movie. He's so good. Eddie Seacott was played by David Strathairn. You know, A League of Their Own, Good Night and Good Luck. I think he was nominated for an Oscar. We're trying to figure out what you know him from.
I'm trying to figure out what his face looks like. Oh, that guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Yes.
Bill Burns was played by Christopher Lloyd. You know, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Back to the Future. He was Frozen today. Arnold Rothstein was played by Michael Lerner. Barton Fink. Elf. You know who Michael Lerner is.
Yes.
He's one of those guys.
He looks like a mean asshole.
If you don't know who I'm talking about, Google him. You'll recognize him from something. He's very recognizable.
He is the dad in Elf, correct?
Yes. He had the most capitalist pose I've ever seen in a movie during this, where he's in his big chair behind his big desk, and he's like alligator arms up by his man boobs, and one of his hands, the fingers are waggling. It's the most like greedy looking fucking pose. Lost my shit. Happy Felch was played by Charlie Sheen. You know, Red Dawn. One of my all-time favorite movies, Hot Shots Part 2. Shoeless Joe Jackson this time around was played by D.B. Sweeney. He was a voice in Brother Bear. And he was the dude in The Cutting Edge.
Oh my god.
Yes!
Wait a second. What voice was he in Brother Bear? Because this will affect my opinion.
I thought when I wrote it down, I should grab who he played in this. And I did not. Oh my god, he's in Megalopolis.
Fucking everyone is in Megalopolis.
I think I'm in Megalopolis. Would that be a wild way for me to...
Just casually.
He played Sitka.
Oh, okay.
And the last cast member I grabbed was Chick Gandil. Was played by Michael Rooker.
Michael Rooker looks a whole lot like Psycho Sid.
He fucking does. He was in Mississippi Burning, JFK, and literally every James Gunn movie ever.
Of course. He just looks like an asshole. That is excellent
He's
casting.
got a great asshole face. The movie was in production for like 11 years.
Oh, God.
So there were some other actors that John Sayles wanted, including Gene Hackman and Martin Sheen.
It aged so much they had to go for Charlie Sheen.
Quote, my original dream team had Martin Sheen at third base, and I ended up with Charlie in center field. David Strathairn I just pronounced that way wrong. David Strathairn originally was cast to play Shoeless Joe Jackson.
Oh my!
And then he aged up into Eddie Seacott.
Oh, who played Kid Gleason? Did you grab him?
Because
that's somebody.
It is. It's fucking... his name's on the tip of my tongue. I just can't...
I want to call him Eddie, but I feel like that's wrong. I think he played Frasier's dad, whose name is Eddie.
John Mahoney.
Ah.
Yes, he did play Martin Crane on Frasier.
Wow, I was just very wrong, except for the show.
Who did you say?
I said Eddie, who I think might be the dog.
Eddie's the dog. He was also in Barton Fink. He was in Moonstruck. Yeah, I recognized his name, but I never watched Frasier. So
he's got dad face.
Yeah. He's great in the movie too. Like, what a fucking cast this movie had.
Gleason is another guy that I feel bad for. Because this, soured him on baseball.
Yeah.
Did you follow any of the newspaper guys? Specifically Hugh Fullerton?
Yes. I don't think I grabbed any of their, actors.
Because Hugh Fullerton is another guy that, this ruined baseball for him.
Mm-hmm.
He stopped sports writing because of this. Because he was one of the first people to suspect the scandal, and he was dragged through the mud by every major baseball publication for pointing out that it was even a possibility.
He was played by Studs Terkel.
That's not a name. That is another baseball player from this era.
He was born in 1912. So the little kids you follow, he would have been that age when this was happening.
Did they have the scene where he got drunk and lurched through the train car with the players on it?
With the writers? When the writers got drunk and went through the train car?
Yes, it was specifically just him.
Is that the scene where he sings I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles? But
yes.
Parodies? That was in the book?
That's a real thing that happened.
Oh my god, that's such a cinematic moment. That's one of the moments I would, that and the end, I would have immediately said not even in the book. That's for the movie.
Hugh Fullerton got drunk and deliberately antagonized the baseball players by going to their car and singing that parody version of I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles.
So, Studs Terkel isn't known as an actor. Because I was looking at his credits, and it was American Masterpiece, documentary, Self, a lot of that stuff. He was an American writer, historian, and broadcaster, as well as an actor.
Oh, so, okay.
So, yeah. Great casting choice.
I do also know, because I was peeking at the credits, that the author has a cameo in this.
Yeah, the author does. I think the director does. I think the judge is played by John Cusack's dad.
Also John Cusack.
An interesting thing about the cast, because the cast is a bunch of big name actors, like Sheen and Cusack and Christopher Lee and all that.
Yeah.
A lot of the players were cast because they could play baseball.
Huh.
And they did their own spring training prior to shoot.
That's neat.
I have a quote from Sheen.
Martin or Charlie?
Charlie.
Okay.
I'm not in this for cash or my career or my performance. I wanted to take part in this film because I love baseball.
What a fucking dweeb.
I get it! I get it, though! Because, when you love baseball, you fucking love baseball. All its weird little shit you fucking adore. I watched a video on baseball stances last night.
Yes, you did.
Because I fucking love this shit. I love the weird little intricacies and all of that.
Never diagnosed?
Not a once. I did well in school. So, of course, these guys, fucking love baseball. So much so that half the cast reprised their roles in Ken Burns' documentary on baseball in 1994. So, John Cusack, Christopher Lloyd, D.B. Sweeney all did voiceovers. And director John Sayles and Studs Terkel were interviewed for that as well.
Huh. Okay.
And Terkel read Hugh Fullerton's columns that were written on the Black Sox.
Oh, yeah. Hugh Fullerton's columns were scathing.
I have been wanting to watch that documentary for years, and I still haven't. Maybe that's what I'll download and watch on the boat.
Oh, my God.
You gotta deal with me. You gotta live with me.
Yup, because I love you for some reason.
Yep. So, did the book include the bit about Lefty's wife being threatened?
Yes.
That never happened.
Really?
So, if you aren't familiar, there's a scene in which Lefty, who's the second pitcher in the rotation, after Seacott decides to play his third game, Game 7, he's going to try. Lefty also decides, I'm going to try for Game 8. Let's actually try and win the World Series so we can still do this. And a man comes up to him and says, hey, is that your wife over there? And he goes, yeah. And he says, if you aren't taken out of the game by the end of the first inning tomorrow, I will kill her. And Lefty can see the guy sitting behind his wife at the game, so he pitches like shit until they pull him in the first inning. Didn't happen. The author of the book made it up so that his account of the 1919 World Series couldn't be plagiarized.
Ah.
It was a tip from his publisher to put something fictional in there that you know is fictional but other people won't, so that if somebody steals your shit, you can point to it and say, that didn't happen. Your source is me, not the truth.
Interesting.
Right? That is actually a common thing today in maps. If you buy a wall map or a road map of a city or anything like that, there will be one or two fake roads. And those are there so that if somebody else copies the map maker can sue them for copyright infringement.
Huh.
Yep. So there's always something wrong in a map.
That's fascinating.
A commercially available map. I think Google Maps and Apple Maps and those that are also like satellite-based or a lot of crowdsourced stuff is probably pretty accurate. But even Google Maps has some things because it's fucking Google.
Yeah.
They own their map.
Yeah.
You can't steal their map.
So that's interesting because one of the things that I struggled with this book was they had the normal disclaimer at the beginning that it's like you can't know what was actually going on inside anyone's particular head at any particular moment. I am going to do my best with the sources that I have available to reconstruct what I think is plausible and likely. Mm-hmm. Because even though some of these men were still alive, they all basically kept their silence. It was almost like the aftermath chapters talk about how basically to the end of their lives, none of them fucking talked about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
It was like the one thing that bonded them all together. Even though you could get them, even though the author did talk to them and talk to them about baseball, anytime the hint of 1919 even was like a sniff, they clammed up and they would not talk about it.
If you, when you were in your 20s, made a mistake that took your favorite thing from you, would you want to talk about it?
I'm trying to figure out a joke where we're not married, but that doesn't work.
Because like I said, when you love baseball, you fucking love baseball. And these guys played baseball. And this was before it was big money. They played under Comiskey.
Yeah.
And won a World Series under Comiskey and easily could have won a second one. And I think that's also important to recognize is that I think the 17 World Series this team won, and most of the guys were on it, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so, yes.
So, like, it wasn't their first rodeo. There's none of that I can call myself a champion thing, because most of them can, if not all of them, already can. So I think that's important to note as to why they went with it.
Something else that I think is interesting is that I feel like this does disservice to the Cincinnati Reds as well. And that's why they denied it too, because they were like, no, we fucking won this, because they didn't want to believe that their first trophy in fucking 40 years was because the other team was trying to lose.
They were still in the fucking World Series. Like,
but
they were the best team in the National League.
But I feel like this is the equivalent of, like, playing Man City, and Erling Haaland obviously trips over his own feet and doesn't score, you know? It's like...
Yeah.
It's like, oh, did you get lucky, or is he fucking up?
Yeah, like, passing, like, out of balance and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, bringing this to modern sports, it is something I do want to talk about with the current landscape of modern sports. Because this event, and it's over 100 years ago, so no one alive remembers it. No one alive was there at this point, basically. And can remember. Except for that lady who, what was it, saw 2 world wars, countries rise and fall, and never saw Arsenal win a European trophy. Get fucked, Gunners. One of the ripple effects of this, because we talked about, like, the dead ball era ending and how it affected baseball, this also led to, you know, pretty much a nationwide banning of sports gambling. Because it was getting too easy to fix sports. We're living in an era now where sports gambling has become the norm. We can't watch sports games in any sport on any channel.
Doesn't FanDuel fucking sponsor the MLB?
FanDuel fucking sponsors professional wrestling. Like, the sports gambling's getting into everything. And we talked about this when we did... Why did I almost call it Full Metal Jacket? Silver Linings Playbook. Wow, crosswires. That when that movie came out, the NFL didn't want to sponsor it, or didn't want to promote it at all because they thought it promoted gambling.
Yep.
And now your fucking money lines are before every play. You can bet on how many farts the receiver is going to toot before he catches the ball.
You get free money on your first bet if you lose.
And I guess it's harder to get away with now, but we are starting to see players betting on their own sports.
We've talked about Shohei Ohtani.
Shohei Ohtani, at the start of this season, he's had a fucking miraculous season. Like, he's the first player ever to hit 50 home runs, 50 steals. At the start of this season, we forget that his interpreter admitted to stealing his money to gamble. He did not admit to gambling on baseball. There are conspiracy theories out there where he took the fall for Ohtani, and maybe he was betting on baseball. We don't know. He was using illegal bettors, which was the actual problem. And the theft. But
something Michael Jordan going into baseball after betting on basketball.
Oh yeah, there's a theory when Jordan retired the first time and played minor league baseball and then went back to the NBA was because he was such a gambling addict that they needed to punish him, but they couldn't punish the star player of the league. So send him out, bring him back. There are multiple soccer players who are currently serving or have just finished serving betting bans. Paqueta for West Ham, I don't think he's been banned yet, I can't remember. But he was accused of intentionally drawing yellow cards for prop bets. Because a bunch of people from his hometown before a game started betting on him to get a yellow, and he got a very stupid yellow in that game.
Huh.
Like, things like this start happening because there's still, for some of these guys, more money in gambling than there is in soccer. Or with, what's his name? There's an Italian player. I don't think it's Tonali. I think it's the other guy that got tagged with him, but I can't remember which one. But one of them is such a big gambling addict that his pay wasn't covering his addiction. And he played in Serie A, one of the top European leagues.
Wow.
So, like, this is still becoming a problem. And the sport isn't turning away from it like they did in 1919. The sports are embracing it. Like you said, FanDuel sponsors, like, MLB. I watched Castellanos hit a home run off the ESPN bet billboard at Citizens Bank Park this year.
there's also, like, former players shilling this shit.
I can't watch a soccer game without Clint Dempsey shilling for fucking DraftKings.
Which, wow. Really, Clint? You?
Hey, man, let him get his bag. But, like, fucking some of these guys that are getting busted for betting in soccer have Chinese betting companies on their shirts. Because you can't advertise it in China. But you can show the Premier League in China. So the Chinese betting companies pay to put it on the Premier League shirts. It's such like a fucking huge industry now. And it's just, especially with the online bettings becoming legal in most states, I can foresee a near future in which there's another Throne championship game somewhere because, you know, players are upset at owners for something.
Or, fuck, you can get... Even if you're not getting rich off of it, if you can make your family or your hometown...
That's the thing with Paqueta. Like, it was his hometown.
Yeah.
Allegedly, he called a bunch of friends and family and said, bet on this. Today's the day I do it. And, yeah, maybe he changed, like, a whole fucking town for the better, and that was his priority over his integrity. Which is understandable, because, let's be real, sports is still just a fucking game. Like, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. But it is really just us watching some dudes play a game, or girls. It's not that serious. So I can completely understand, even in today's day and age, when it's harder to get away with it, why someone would still try to, you know, bet on shit.
And I feel like that's also kind of the struggle with sports in general, is that you want to believe that everyone is going out there and trying their best and doing everything is lily white and by the book and everything is perfect, except you and I have actively seen referees lose games for teams.
Mm-hmm. You know what you did, Wiseman.
Yeah, we got a new Griggs now.
We still have the original Griggs. I thought he was gone after that debacle, and he's fucking back.
Yeah.
Although I respect Julie Ehrman less.
I still respect her for trying to fight him. I just respect her less as an owner.
Yeah. That happened this week, too. That's salary cap violations. That has nothing to do with betting.
But it's just like... What shocked me most about reading this book was that baseball, even before 1919, was just a cesspool of corruption and illegal betting and all that kind of shit well before. Like, there was a scandal in fucking 1916, 1917 with a player named Hal Chase who got kicked off his team, like let go by his team and picked up by another team for betting. And he was playing again because he was such a good player that they didn't want to punish him.
Yeah.
And the only reason that these 8 players got in trouble was A, because it was so many of them, and B, because it got so big and so public that they had to do something to save face.
Yeah.
And even at the time, you had newspaper people like Hugh Fullerton calling them out and being like, no, the corruption is still there. The rottenness is still there because you guys knew about this and we have proof that you knew about it, and the only time you did anything was when we pressured you. And ultimately the only reason anything was done is because it was one way for an owner to get back at another owner he didn't like.
Yeah. It's a side effect of when sports become entertainment as well. Because with the ownership, the only reason they're buying a sports team is because they want to make money off of it. How do you make money off of it? Then, ticket sales. How do you get people to come to games? They want to see winners or they want to see good play. They're not going to come to games if they think it's rigged. So there are only 2 ways that baseball could have gone following this. One is what they chose, which is we ban you if you bet, period, end of story. Lifetime ban, you're done. Sorry Pete Rose, sorry Shoeless Joe Jackson. It's over. The other way they could have gone, Savannah Bananas. Fuck it. We're an entertainment. We're entertainment. You know the game's rigged. I know the game's rigged. He's going to bat on stilts.
Yes.
You either go
We're filming TikToks by the side.
You either go the route of championship boxing, where you can't tell if shit's rigged or not, and it's absolutely rigged in the lower levels, but you assume like the higher levels are legit, or you go the route of WWE, where we know watching that the matches are predetermined, but we watch it for the storylines and the characters and the things that are happening. And
you just have to set the expectation that this is real or this is not real. And at this time, it was... Well, also... Do they talk about, I'm assuming they don't because of the timeline of the movie, but do they talk about how basically the gamblers were blackmailing players in 1920 to throw games?
No.
They were blackmailing players to throw games to make the race tighter for the pennant. So that they could get more money for longer.
Yep.
And it wasn't as consistent in the series where it was like, we're going to do these 7 games in this order. It was like, hey, lose today.
Yeah.
And then, like, 6 weeks later, hey, lose this game, too.
Yeah, it just... Watching this again and knowing how much more prevalent sports betting has become in the last 10 years, I am actually starting to question the integrity of some leagues. Not necessarily just about betting, either. Like, I know you and I have talked about this privately, but Messi to MLS... Like
That's absolutely a bump in ratings.
Like, yeah, well, and this is public knowledge, too. Part of Messi's pay structure comes from Apple TV.
Which, how is that not violating salary cap?
Because it's not the club paying him. It's Apple TV's paying him on a separate contract. Now, here's the thing. Apple TV had just become the sole rights holder for TV broadcasts of MLS. On their overly expensive fucking service. And then they go out and get the best player on the planet, pick his team, and then he can bring in all of his friends. And I'm sure Messi's not the only one getting some money from outside sources, just not just from Miami. And lo and behold, Inter Miami is a few games away from breaking the points record in MLS. That sacrifices the integrity of the league for the advantage of one team. And sure, the owners of the league are happy because they're making money off the TV revenue, and the TV revenue is going up because more people are buying because they want to watch Messi. But I'm not a fan of Inter Miami. I have a team that I support in that league and have for 15 years. And they play in the same division as this overloaded team that can suddenly afford 2012 Barcelona. Like, there's something wrong with that.
There's a quote in the book. I don't remember who said it. It's probably Fullerton. But it's something to the effect of, you think the rules are rigid and well-defined, but you know that in practice the rules are actually wide open and dirty. And that's exactly, like, that 100% feel, the example you use with Messi is 100% a spirit of the law versus word of the law. It's like they're taking the word of the law. We're not paying his whole salary, but the spirit of the law is no one team should have this advantage where they're getting this player that's worth this much, you know?
And the wild thing is, 2 years prior, Miami got busted for salary cap shit.
That's how you got Carranza,
They were
right?
forced to sell Julian Carranza to the Union for $500,000. $500,000 loan, and then I think we paid another $500,000 to buy him outright. And then, of course, in the middle of this season, just when he starts getting hot, sell him off to fucking Europe. Because the owner's got to make a buck. And I'm just like, I'm a big fan of this sport. I'm a fan of these players. I'm a fan of this club. But watching my owner get richer while we're having our worst season in 7 years sucks. Because I'm not getting richer watching this shit. How come he gets to get richer with his name on this shit?
In fact, you are getting poorer emotionally and spiritually.
And financially. I gotta pay that fucking Apple deal now. Games were on ESPN 3 years ago. I already paid for ESPN Plus. I also got fucking domestic cups in England on ESPN Plus, and it's cheaper per year. Now I'm still paying that, and now I gotta pay this to watch this trash. So yeah. I'm sure I have 1 or 2 notes I scribbled while I was watching the movie. They get the baseball equivalent of a pizza party.
Yes. Oh, did I mention that the $10,000 was the previous season? When he was promised the reward of $10,000?
Was it the previous season?
It was the previous season. That was part of the reason he was so pissed off going into 1919.
That makes sense. Some quotes. He's going to clean up baseball. He can start with the owners. About the commissioner.
Yep.
Without us, there's no ball game. We're facing jail while the gamblers and the owners count their money. There's the conspiracy. Just things like that. Like, and the thing is, like, sports owners are still like this. They're still like I just said about fucking Sugarman at the Union. He's sold off our best player, two of our best players. I forgot Martinez as well. Went to the Corinthians. Two of our best players, sell them off, make some money for yourself. Team's sinking, who cares? Anytime now, like, athletes go on strike, remember this shit. Remember that, well, yeah, these are millionaires. But when you hear somebody on the news complaining, or on, like, an opinion piece complaining, like, why are these millionaires complaining about getting more money? Because their bosses are fucking multi-billionaires. And their bosses are treating the people we pay to see play like fucking cattle so that they can get richer. It's why I cannot understand why people are against NCAA athletes getting paid finally. College football is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
The most expensive part of most of the universities in the South, especially in the SEC, is their fucking coaches for football and their goddamn stadiums.
There are some states in this country where the highest paid state employee is a football coach.
Yep.
For a college.
A sport that is actively killing people, but that's a topic for another.
Different topic. But when I tune into a Penn State game on the weekend, I'm not there to watch and see what James Franklin does. I want to see what Drew Aller does. I want to see what Katron Allen does. I want to see what the players do. I'm paying to see the players when I go to games. When we go to Angel City, I'm not watching Becky Tweed on the sideline.
I mean, sometimes we are, but that's different.
Well, that's when, like, there's a stoppage in play and we want to see who she's talking to see what she's thinking. I'm not watching Becky Tweed on the sideline. I'm watching Giselle Thompson pass it to Alyssa Thompson. I'm watching fucking Claire Emsley make you mad. I'm watching Messiah Bright run like a freight train and do some audacious shit to score a hat trick against a weak team. They better be the most paid people out there. I want those players to fight for what they deserve, what they've earned. Owners should make less. I say that knowing full well that Bob Iger is now a majority owner of Angel City FC.
It's fine. He's still getting a salary from Disney.
He is.
So one of the things that's fascinating is that the defense's argument. Now this is the people that are defending both the gamblers and the baseball players. Unfortunately I have to actually look it up, but their basic argument is the players are the scapegoats. Is that if the players, like, yes, the players threw the ball games, but they did it at the behest of these gamblers. And the gamblers are not in the courtroom with us, so this trial is not fair. You're treating the players as scapegoats, which is a fascinating defense.
It's a great defense. I mean, it fucking worked. Although, as they say in the movie, the trial was a bigger fix than the series.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, if every single player is saying, we did this because they wanted us to, and the they that they all keep referring to isn't in the room, then you're not charging the full conspiracy.
Yep.
Because they were charged on conspiracy charges. You need the whole conspiracy there. You can't charge half a conspiracy. So what did you think of the book?
I am going to be gentler on it, knowing that it was written in the 60s. Because I didn't realize how early it had been written when I was reading it.
That's fair.
It's a little dry. Like I said, it's interesting that they kind of set up the play-by-play of both the games and the trial. I'd give it like a 6.5-ish out of 10.
Okay.
It's pretty long. They spend a lot of time setting everything up, which I understand. Like, the actual series is only like, I want to say the series covers like 10 chapters. I want to say only about 5 of them are the actual series. a lot of it is still the setup. Yeah. And, like, who's paying who's getting fucked over by who, etc. So it's a lot of... There's a lot of time spent getting the train in motion. The writing style is fine. It's not... The only offensive thing is that there's a couple... When he's quoting people, there's a couple slurs. Not, like, bad slurs. It's, like, the...
Oh, the good slurs!
No, we're not talking, like, N-word. Actually, neither of the N-words appear in this.
Oh. Well, yeah, because they weren't allowed in baseball. Fuck.
But you do get the C slur. I don't know if it's...
Cunt?
No! No, the
one
one for Chinese people.
Oh! Okay.
Yeah, like old-timey racism. The one that...
Oh, the John Mulaney one?
The John Mulaney one! So, Comiskey is quoted as saying, we will field a full team even if we have to get C-word to fill him out. And it's like a couple of instances like that.
I don't think he would have been allowed to, because I think they would have, like, shouted segregation at him.
Probably!
Send Shohei Ohtani to the Negro Leagues. God damn it.
It's real MLB now!
They were major leagues, that's true.
But yeah. What did you think of the movie?
It's a great movie. It's a really, really good movie. I did read some criticism at the time, and I want to say Ebert actually wasn't too high up on it. Siskel loved it. And these are Chicagoans, so I especially appreciate their opinions on this. But Ebert's criticism was that if you don't like baseball or you don't know baseball, you're going to miss a lot, which is completely reasonable. So loving baseball adds a lot to this movie. But that said, you said that the book opened with a lot of, like, getting the train in motion.
Yeah.
They do that over the course of one game in the movie in one of the best pieces of exposition I can think of. Because you first view it from the point of view of kids in Chicago who, I found a quarter, we're going to the game. And they go and they sit up in the fucking nosebleeds and they watch the game. And they're just into all of these players doing these things. And as the game progresses, you get the players in the dugout, shit-talking each other. You get to learn their interactions. You also get newspapermen describing the players and what they're good for. And Comiskey himself is talking to newspapermen during the game. And he's giving his opinions on the players. And you're getting to learn all of these characters. You're getting to learn the team, the writers... the gamblers. Oh, because two of the gamblers are in the stadium too. You think he'd go for it? Nah, he's to this, that, and the other thing. And, like, do you think Weaver would go for it? No, he just wants to win. Like, you learn important things about the characters through these eyes. And then, like, the next fucking scene is Chick... Gandil. I want to say Grindle. I knew that wasn't right. Chick Gandil and Sleepy Bill talking about it. So it really just... fucking sprints from the start, but it's done really well. I love the opening of the movie. The baseball's all shot really well. The acting is great. The editing is great. I love the old-timey, like, ragtime score. It adds a levity to the movie that I wasn't expecting the first time I saw it.
Yeah, I heard you laugh a couple times.
It's got jokes. Like, the trial scene has some great fucking lines. And, like, obviously the fuck billionaires stance that it clearly takes.
Yep.
Because you have to, because fuck billionaires, like, right up my alley, man. It's an 8 out of 10 for me. It's a great movie.
Do you want me to tell you a funny story about Shohei Ohtani?
Yes.
So it has to do with me. So obviously we live in LA. All of my coworkers are fucking Dodgers fans.
Everyone in LA is a Dodgers fan when they're playing well.
So my boss is very whatever about sports, but her husband fucking loves the Dodgers. And our executive assistant fucking loves the Dodgers. So she pops over to my desk and she's like, "Hey, do you like baseball?" And I was like, No, I do not like baseball. She's like, "Oh." And then she goes to my coworker and she's like, "Do you like baseball?" And she's like, it's fine. I enjoy baseball. She's also from the Midwest, so she's not a Dodgers fan.
Good.
I don't know what team she supports, but she's not a Dodgers fan. But her son collects baseball cards, and she mentions that. And my boss pounces on that and is like, oh, Shohei Ohtani, they're selling his 50-50 card for $12 today. And it's like a special deal, and you can only get them at this price today or whatever. So I'm like, oh, sure, whatever. So I pop open the top site, and the top site is like, you are now in line. I do this, no joke, at like 2 o'clock. And I forget I have the window open because I'm distracted and doing something else.
Probably work or something at your job.
Yeah, probably. So it's like 5:30. And I realize, oh, I have another window open. And I pop it open, and it's the site. Like, oh, I'm on the site. Neat. Oh, shit. Hey, boss. I'm on the site. Do you want cards? And her eyes light up. She's just like, yes. How many can you get? And I was like, I don't know. Let me see what the limit is. There's no, like, posted limit. We didn't hit the posted limit. I think we bought, like, 40 of them.
Jesus.
All on her card. But it was so funny because we, like, placed the first order, and then she's like, can you get more? And I was like, I mean, I'm still on the site, so I can try. And it let me. So it was like, I think we got 10 in the first order, and then I ended up getting 20. Because, of course, the more you buy, the cheaper they are per card. It worked out to, I think they were like $10 a card if you bought 20 of them.
Yeah.
And so she's looking at it, and she's like, ooh, they're autographed. I'm like, well, some of them are autographed. She's like, what do you mean? So I'm going through with this lovely boomer woman explaining to her all of the fucking terms on this site, which, thanks, Jeff.
Friend of the pod, Jeff May, who started opening cards on the side.
Yeah, like, I don't actually watch any of those streams. Sorry, Jeff. But I understand from him talking about shit what the different things mean. And I'm explaining, oh, this means there's X that'll be this color border and X that'll be this color border. And some of them are going to be signed and one of them is going to be inscribed. And she's like, oh, okay. I'm like, well, we bought 30 of them. Your chances of getting an autographed one are, like, decent. Like, low, but possible. So yeah, I am currently still waiting for those to come out because they're not supposed to arrive. Like, they're not even supposed to start shipping until the 15th of October. And I ordered these, like, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So that's my Shohei Ohtani story.
Well, hopefully, not all the cards are just base.
I would laugh so fucking hard if we got the one of one.
That would be so fucking funny.
This was literally, like, watching her buy these cards, I was like, oh, this is how people spend thousands of dollars on this shit.
And that is why the only card I will let myself own is this numbered of 99 Chloe Kelly from the 2023 Women's World Cup. Because Jeff pulled it, and I could tell no one else was going to want that card. But I will happily take a Manchester City forward. So, we're coming up to the end of Spooky Month. In fact, our next episode comes out on Halloween.
Halloween.
So, we're going to have a little bit of fun. I think this is a fun one, right?
I actually know nothing about it.
Same.
I just know that a lot of people are obsessed with the house.
The only thing I know is we need to have midnight margaritas.
Okay.
Because our next episode is Practical Magic. Recommended by dear friend of the pod, Mel. And we will be dropping that on Halloween after our cruise in the Caribbean.
Yeah, your boys are going on a cruise.
In 2 weeks' time, I'm going to be laid out on a boat full of fucking buffet food.
And margarita.
Margarita and Dramamine and... feeling the motion of the ocean after a full day in the Bahamas. Can't fucking wait.
Same. I need this fucking vacation.
Oh my god, me too. But until then, you can find us on our social medias. Hit us up there. They're all in the link tree in the description of this podcast.
Do you have a audience participation question? Because I actually have one if you don't.
Do you have one?
I do.
Oh, please give it.
I want to know your favorite sport scandal. Don't care what sport, don't care how niche. In fact, the nicher the better.
All right. We'll come back with our own sports scandals next week. And if you have any sports scandals that you would like to send to us, you can send them to soonmajorpod@gmail.com. That's also in the description below. But until then,
there's
bye.
no crying in baseball? Different movie.
I wish that was based on a book.
Me too.
Because I fucking love that movie. Any excuse to watch A League of Their Own.
I just want to look at Gina Davis in a short skirt.
You know, I have... What movie? Was it Tootsie where she's like her tits out?
Probably.
Or she might be in a bra in Tootsie.
I mean, she's definitely in a bra in Bonnie and Clyde. Not Bonnie and Clyde.
The other one, Thelma and Louise.
Thelma and Louise.
Thelma and Louise. I have that on the shelf.